the Lord of the Universe, the Temple of Jagannath at Puri. From the book Temples of India by Manoj Das. In the days of yore, there was a king named Indradyumna who ruled over a vast territory. He had conquered many lands and had earned great fame, but he always felt the urge to do something different, something noble. He wanted to build a big temple. He had even devised a plan for the building. But unless there was a genuine, living deity to dwell in the temple, what was the use of building it? One night, he had a remarkable dream. He saw a small hill in the interior of an unknown forest. Even the name of the hill was given to him in the dream. It was Nilachala. There was a cave in the hill, and in the cave dwelt a beautiful deity who represented the Lord of the Universe, or Jagannath. Indradyumna did not know where Nilachala was situated, but he was most anxious to find out. So, he sent some of his most efficient officers to trace the hill and the deity. Many days passed. One of his wandering officers, a young man named Vidyapati, one day reached a wooded land inhabited by the Sabaras. He arrived at the house of their chief Vishwavasu seeking shelter. Vishwavasu was very pleased to play host to Vidyapati, who was both handsome and intelligent. The chief had a beautiful daughter called Lalita. It so happened that Vidyapati earned not only the affection of the chief but also the love of Lalita. Soon he married Lalita and continued to live there. During the course of his stay, Vidyapati observed that his father-in-law went out into the forest every day before dawn and came back after sunrise. Even a storm could not prevent him from doing so. "Where does your father go?" Vidyapati asked Lalita one day. "Oh, my husband, though I am not supposed to reveal this to anyone, how can I hide anything from you? My father goes out to worship Nilamadhav inside the cave in Nilachala," she replied. Vidyapati was thrilled to hear this. "Where is Nilachala? Please take me there," he pleaded. Soon Vishwavasu came to know of his son-in-law's eagerness to see Nilamadhav. He reluctantly agreed to take Vidyapati there, but would only do so if the latter's eyes were covered. While he was taken to Nilachala blindfolded, he scattered mustard seeds on the way unnoticed by his father-in-law. After a few days, following a shower, leaves sprouted off the seeds, and it was not difficult for Vidyapati to find the way to the cave. One day, Vidyapati took leave of his wife and father-in-law to pay a visit to his home. On his way, he stole the idol from the cave and hurried to the court of King Indradyumna. Indradyumna was very happy when he saw the image of Nilamadhav, but his joy did not last long. When the Sabara chief saw that his deity had been stolen, he was about to end his life in grief. Knowing his devotee's state of mind, Nilamadhav could not bear to stay away from him, and he mysteriously disappeared from the palace of Indradyumna. Expecting to find the idol, In the cave of Nilachala, Indradyumna hurried there. But the cave was empty. Indradyumna thought that Vishwavasu had hidden the idol. He took the chief prisoner and was about to torture him when he heard a voice telling him to first build a temple to house the deity. Then the deity would come to him in a new form. The king now devoted all his energy, imagination, and will to build a majestic temple. Many years later, when the temple was complete, the king was told in a dream to go to the seashore and collect a floating piece of wood. The image of Jagannath would be carved out of it, and that would be the new form of Nilamadhav. The king rushed to the seashore and saw a piece of wood floating nearby. But in spite of all his efforts, he could not bring the wood ashore. The king, in utter despair, decided to kill himself. But suddenly, he heard a heavenly voice asking him to seek the help of Vishwavasu. The king sent a messenger to Vishwavasu and requested him to come there. As soon as Vishwavasu touched the wood, it was easily lifted out of the water. Thus did Nilamadhav or Jagannath prove his attachment to both his devotees, the king and Vishwavasu. However, there arose a fresh problem. No craftsman could be found who could undertake to carve the image of Jagannath out of the wood. Just when the king had started to despair again, a stranger appeared before him and offered to do the work. He was a very old man, but there was something extraordinary about him which impressed the king favorably. The stranger, however, laid one condition. Nobody should open the doors of his room before 21 days, as that was the time he needed to finish the work. The old man then started his work inside a closed room. Every day, the queen of Indradyumna used to go and listen at the doors of the room. She heard the sound of the old man working, but after a fortnight, she stopped hearing any sound. This went on for a few days. Finally, she lost all patience. She thought that the ancient-looking sculpture might have died. One morning, the queen pushed the doors open. The old man suddenly disappeared, leaving the three images of Jagannath, his brother Balarama, and the sister Subhadra, incomplete as they are seen to this day. The old man was none other than God's own craftsman, Vishwakarma. The king, however, was happy with the forms of the deity. Vishwavasu too was delighted to see his Nilamadhav back, though in a new form. Till today, the descendants of Vishwavasu, the Sabara chief, are among the priests of the temple of Lord Jagannath at Puri. Another legend says that after the temple was constructed, it lay forgotten, buried under sand for hundreds of years. One day, while King Galamadhava was galloping across a sandy stretch of land, his horse fluttered and its hoof struck something hard. The king got down and examined the object. It seemed to be a top of a temple. At the king's command, all the sand was removed and the wonderful monument, 58 meters high, was discovered. According to historians, The temple of Jagannath was built in the 12th century by the Ganga kings of Kalinga. It required great vision, great dedication, and a great amount of wealth. All these were present with the Ganga kings, particularly Chodagangadev, the greatest of them all. A variety of sculptural work is to be seen on the walls and pillars of the temple. This work is as delicate as the traditional filigree work of Odisha. Lakhs of people flock to Puri every year in the month of June to witness and participate in the famous car festival of Jagannath. Jagannath, Balarama and Subhadra are taken on 3 huge wooden chariots with 16 wheels each to the Gundicha temple, almost 3 kilometers away from the main temple. The festival commemorates Krishna's journey from Gokul to Mathura. It is said that the relics of Krishna are contained in the image of Jagannath. Some people believe that Buddha's tooth is also there. Chaitanya Dev, the great prophet of Vaishnavism, is said to have disappeared while concentrating on the image inside the temple. Thus, Jagannath is associated with many incarnations. No wonder that of all the Hindu seats of pilgrimage, Puri draws the largest number of pilgrims. Narrated by Aishwarya Priyadarshini.